Hi, I'm Shane, in case you haven't met me yet. I'm going to talk to you today about some work we've been doing over the last couple of years. So one of the things is that we do a lot of service culture transformation. As a result of that, for the last 10 plus years, we've been focused on leadership development. We believe when you're talking about service culture and any sort of transformation, the focus has to be on the managers. As a result of that, we have really dialed in the ability to help leaders develop on the skills and behaviors that are necessary to lead others. Flick forward to COVID. We all came out of COVID and we started to look at our managers and started to talk to them. We went out to our customers and said, hey, what sort of training do you want now? And what we saw was that pretty much every manager we met was completely burned out, stressed, frustrated, and actually angry because of what they had just gone through. And we had this kind of aha moment where I was like, shit, we don't need to focus on teaching them how to lead others. We actually need to focus on helping them lead themselves. And so we pivoted and we started working with doctors and therapists, and we started to go, okay, what can we do to help these managers be better at taking care of themselves? And so I'm going to share some of the stuff that we did today, and I'm going to start by saying this is not rocket science. In fact, it's just bringing together some of the information, research, and stuff that's been out there. But let's tell this story. First of all, we've just got to have this basis. Employees, it's been proven, who work for managers that care and support them, guess what? They're happier. Okay? That's a fundamental about how to create a great culture. One of the most important roles in your organization is the frontline manager and supervisor. It's not the executives, it's not the CEOs, it's not the presidents, it's the supervisors and managers that are on the front line. When we talk to employees about what they think about their company, what we learn really quickly is they're actually talking about their supervisor. When they say, I trust my company, they go, I'm actually trusting my supervisor, and vice versa. So it's very important to understand that that group is the group that we believe is most at danger. But what we find is managers and supervisors are unprepared for their moment when they have to be on and really take care of their people. So let's give you a reality check. So we put a little research up here. This is a fantastic mental health in the workplace. This came out earlier this year, and it kind of painted the story for us that we thought was really important, that really kind of stimulated our work. Yes, we know workers tired and stressed, get it. But the thing that was really powerful is that the most unhappiest group in our workplace is the managers. And this is where we've got to start rethinking because we take them for granted. We assume they've got a manager title, they'll work it out, they've done it before, they'll just get through it. Managers impact your employees' mental health. I talk to companies all the time, they say, oh, we're focused on well-being and we're really focusing on well-being this year. And I say, so what are you doing? And if they don't tell me that they're focused on their managers, then I said it's all a waste of time. Why? Because if your manager is stressed out and unhappy, it is the single biggest reason for your employees to be stressed out and unhappy. It's really that simple. Look at every bit of research. The stress from the workplace comes from the direct manager or supervisor. It doesn't come because they don't have the right benefits package or anything else. Leaders see things one way. These are the people at the top of the organization, but at the bottom of the organization on the front line, it's a very, very different story. The C-suite's not immune to it. And here is the number one piece of research that I want us to get across today. If you're serious about well-being, then your number one focus has to be this final point. It's got to be okay to not be okay. And that will be the toughest thing that any business has to get over if you're really serious about well-being. Because we don't think it's okay not to be okay. Listen, I've been the managers. I know how annoying it was when someone called out. I know what it's like to be short-staffed. It's frustrating, but that is what well-being is at the heart. It's okay not to be okay. And if we can find our way there, then we can start having the well-being conversation. Gallup said it really simply. And we've trusted them for over 30 years with our data. Managers are more likely to be stressed, angry, alone, and sad when compared to non-managers in 2024. That's it. Our managers are the ones that are in danger of falling over, leaving. And here is where I really want to kind of hit this home. is that you start to think about your managers and go, no, my managers are fine. They're kicking ass. They're performing. And I go, good. So do you know where they're not performing? At home. Because you see, people break. So you go, gosh, we got 12 hours out of them today. Go and look at the stats of what's happening in the home. The abuse, the drug abuse, alcohol abuse, everything that's happening as a result of that stress. People, when they're stressed, angry, alone, and sad, they do silly things. That's where it hurts. You want to talk about well-being? Then we got to start talking here. Now, I got to throw it out because it's this whole idea of stress. What we're talking about is stress, but we got to start thinking about, well, what is this stress? Because it's not about avoiding stress. And that's one thing that I'm really sort of focused in on. This isn't about making life easier for everybody. You can't avoid stress. And by the way, if you listen to half the people and the doctors out there, you should actually enjoy a little stress in your life. Because you have to understand, anyone that's ever did something really damn good, performed at the top of their game, won an Olympic medal or did whatever, they were stressed. Because stress gives us the adrenaline and all this stuff to be able to perform at the top of our game. It is not the presence of stress that is the problem. It's our inability to reset and recover from stress. And that was where we started to focus all our work. We started to look at the research and go, okay, it's not about changing work. It's actually about teaching managers some of the simple things they can do, maybe to reset and recover throughout their day. And so we kind of bucketed them into 6 kind of areas. And these areas sort of became their own sort of real focus and research, but it's about mindset, sleep, nutrition, physical activity support, and things called breaks. And so we started to apply this, and as I said, we met with doctors, different groups, and we said, okay, don't tell us the perfect world of if someone had tons of money and can do all of this and go on retreats and do all of these cool kumbaya things anywhere in the world. I want real things that real people can do on a day-to-day basis to help them manage the stress and the things they have to deal with. All right, I want to start with mindset, and I'm going to take you back to the 1980s, which I know for some of you is ancient history. For some of you that went through it, it's called the greatest years of our lives. But in the 1980s, they did a study here in the US. There was 30,000 adults involved in this study, okay? They asked them 2 questions. I'm going to ask you the same. I'm going to go, how much stress have you experienced in the last year? Scale of 1 to 10. 1, none. 10, a shitload. Okay, answer it. Give yourself an honest answer on that. That's very important. Okay, so we've got that. Second question, it's a yes or no. Do you believe that stress is harmful to your health? Yes or no? Okay, so you've got a number and you've got a yes or no. They answered those questions. By the way, this study has continued. All right, what did they find? They tracked these adults for 8 years. Okay? The thing that they learned, which is most important, if you said that stress is harmful to your health and you had scored more than an 8 in terms of the amount of stress that you've been under over the last year, 43% more likely to die in that 8-year period. Now, it wasn't the amount of stress that you've been under, it's actually whether or not you believe stress is harmful. So science has now worked out if you believe stress is bad, you literally open the gateway to allow stress to affect you in different ways. The research is out there, and I urge you to look it up because we haven't got time today. Stress is enhancing mindset. There is a ton of research that's come out about it. And it is the simple idea that, listen, stress is actually good for us in small amounts. It's not the fact that we're stressed, it's the ability we have to be able to recover. If we know how to recover, bring the stress on all day long. Stress is enhancing means we've got to stop looking at it as bad. If I went around the room and say, how many of you put up your hand, be honest, who said that stressful is harmful to your health? Put up your hand. Again, don't think that way. We think stress is harmful because we think of the prolonged effects of stress. And they are harmful. So believe me, they are. If you cannot recover and reset yourself throughout the day, and stress builds up, it leads to pretty much every health issue that we can experience. But it doesn't have to be that way because stress is actually okay. It's a normal part of who we are. And by the way, if we ever want to do something really damn good, I want a little stress in my life. So the first thing that I want to get across is that mindset. Stress is okay as long as we know how to recover from it. All right, let's talk sleep. And again, thank you for joining me here because there's a sleep study going on in another room. All right, it's the most important thing. I'm sorry, and again, I am just telling you to go do this research yourself because you don't have to believe me. Sleep is literally the most important thing you can do for your health, okay? Whatever you do, you got to work out sleep. If you've accepted, and this is what a lot of people do, you go, oh, how's your sleep? Oh, it sucks. Then go do something about it. Please go do something about it. It's the most important thing. Just go read all the research. Dementia, which we are under this huge health crisis right now, it comes from your sleep. So please don't go speak to experts. There's sleep centers everywhere. They can help you. What you don't want to do is just turn to a bunch of drugs to knock yourself out every night. You got to try and get your system on track. All right, a couple of things you can do actually in the morning. Do you realize the first hour of waking up in the morning has more impact on your sleep the following night than anything else? So here's some quick advice. When you get up in the morning, no alarms. Get some music going, your favorite song. Not blaring, but quietly playing that song for about 10 minutes, and you will be in a good mood when you wake up. Your favorite song or music. Get into light, or if I dare say it, cold shower, people. Now I know you're going, heck no. Why we say that is you have to wake your body up at the same time every day. Either step into natural light, get into a cold shower, but you need to give your body a message that, hey, we're on and waking up. Think about it. Stretch, eat a good breakfast, and here's the good one. Please don't go for caffeine in the first hour of waking up. Give yourself at least 60 minutes. Why? The caffeine right out of bed, and people go, I don't wake up until I get my caffeine. Well, guess what? You're actually tricking your whole circadian rhythm that it is now under duress. Guess what? Caffeine is great when you need the pickup. You don't need to stress your body out in the first hour of waking up in the morning. These are just simple science things that we picked up on. Please think about it. All right, nutrition. Good nutrition, kind of important. I get it. I'm not going to try and change too many habits here, but please just know what you eat makes a difference to your energy and ability to manage stress throughout the day. Okay? Plain and simple. Breakfast. I got some amazing research I've just gone through. Breakfast is all about protein. Again, please go read the research on it. Protein for breakfast, maybe one of the most important things you do in the morning. No carbs or anything else. It's got to be protein. If you love your eggs, by the way, those that are into steak and eggs in the morning, it's actually kind of not a bad thing. Can't stomach it, but please think about protein. All right, complex carbs. Please avoid the sugars. You've heard that a ton of times before. It's real, okay? Sugars literally stress our bodies out. Vitamin A's, you can read all about that. One of the things that I'll say as managers that we learned is you've got to learn to snack throughout the day. We talk to a lot of managers, and one of the things they'll tell us is they don't have time for stuff. Don't have time for breakfast, don't have time for lunch. Oh, I had to get a quick meal on the way home. We get it. Sure, you're so busy. One of the best things that we did is get some good office snacks. It's a ton of research. Just go, what are good office snacks? That list will come up. Again, keep them close, keep them in your office. You can snack all day long. Guess what? Make you feel better. Physical activity, okay, you got to get physical. I'm not going to tell you to go join a gym, but I am going to tell you, get physical. I already talked about stretch. Doctors won't tell you this. The best medicine you can ever do is walk after meals, particularly dinner at night. Number one thing that they'll tell you to do, just go for a 20-minute walk. The best medicine you can do for your body in terms of nutrition, physical activity. Stretch, exercise, snacks. Every 90 minutes, couple of hours, do a quick 60-second exercise. Do some push-ups, do some squats, run around the building, whatever it is. Just do something every couple of hours. Exercise snacks, it's a pretty hot topic. And again, take the stairs if you have them, all right? Anything we can do. The point of doing this is these are the things you can do throughout your day without turning into, I got to go to the gym, I got to do all of these other stuff. Support system. One of the things that we found is really important for your managers, and we often talk about this with employees, Gallup has told us, have a best friend at work. Guess what? It's important for managers to have a best friend as well. One of the things we really urge you to think about is, are you doing enough to create a social interaction with the managers to create a support system? A support system means that I have a relationship with you, I can lean into you. Most importantly, when I'm having a really shitty day, I can come and get it out. Literally, one of the best things that a therapist said that we can do for our managers is to make sure that we have this bonding ability that if they're having a bad day before they take it home, is to be able to call someone that they work with at the same level and be able to just get it out. I can tell you it's one of the most important things if you're serious about managing stress and health. Final thing I want to do is just talk about breaks. We got to get our managers to take breaks. One of the things I urge you to learn about is an ultradian rhythm. You know about the circadian rhythm, 24-hour cycle. Ultradian rhythms are about a 90-minute to 2-hour cycle your body goes through. The thing that you've got to understand is your body goes through, it's an energy cycle. Every 90 minutes to 2 hours, your body says, I will give you about 85-90% of energy, but you got to give me a break. In the simplest terms, learn to take a 5-10-minute break every 2 or 3 hours to reset. Now, the problem with breaks, as we get to this, is we have this kind of myth built up, and we sort of talk to managers about what they use, what type of break they use to reset their stress, health, well-being. Number one was vacations. I can tell you now that if you meet somebody that says, I'm just waiting for my vacation in 6 months, I'll be fine, they're not fine. You cannot wait for a vacation. And by the way, I've got kids. I can tell you that vacations are not stress-free. They're in fact busier than maybe when I go to work. Next is days off. I often hear managers tell me, you know what, I'll just have a day off. I'll be fine. You know what, waiting for a day off is not fine because as probably many of you know, what are your days off like? Running errands, Uber driving for the kids, running around getting everything done. Again, not a break. Then we start to look into what we call 60, 90-minute activities. These are important. These are impactful a few times a week. But when we start to look at the science, it is the 20-minute timeouts or the 5-minute breaks that may be the most important strategy for managers and quite honestly, anybody to think about. 20-minute breaks. Commutes to and from work are key breaks for your well-being. Again, driving to work, coming to work. Head to work, get ready for work. That's a podcast. Use a business book. Get into your mindset for the day. If you're coming home, turn on your favorite music, talk to your friends. That break is really important for your overall well-being. Lunch. I know you don't get to take many of them, but lunches are 20 minutes, but you have to be disassociated from work. Here's one thing we learned. Most managers will tell us, hey, I went and had lunch with my team members, made them feel good, high-fived. Yeah, the team members felt good, but that still worked for you. It's actually not a break. 20 minutes in the middle of your day where you go turn it off. Go for a walk around the block, plug in your favorite podcast, music, whatever it is. Be selfish for 20 minutes. You need that break in the day. Take a walk after a meal I already told you about. And please, 20 minutes before you go to sleep, get off the TV. Get off your tech. We did a final piece here where we started to look at what are some of the effective 5-minute breaks. Adjust posture. Everybody sit up straight. See? That's what a posture looks like. Remember the good times. Look at pictures on your phone. Have your favorite pictures. Go in and look at them. It's a wonderful way to reset your system. Turn it up. Put your headphones in. Rock out to your favorite songs. They're usually 5 minutes long, unless you're into the 70s and they were 12 or 13. Find things to make you laugh. Okay? Find your favorite. If you go onto Instagram, put in your favorite comedians, put in your favorite TV shows. Get 2 minutes of laughter every few hours. It'll make you feel good. Take a walk outside, we've already talked about. Check in with loved ones. Though, let your loved ones know that if I'm calling in the middle of the day, I don't want to hear how shitty the kids were in the morning. Okay? Please, have an agreement with your partner. When I call, I want to have a great conversation. Don't forget to please express your gratitude. With all the things that we have going on, please don't forget that we should be thankful for all the amazing things that go on in our life. I find that managers, it's easy to forget about it. And then my favorite one. Science says that when we give positive feedback to someone else, it actually is a wonderful reset for our bodies. And so when you're a manager and you're having a shitty day and you're not feeling good, my best advice is get up from your desk, get out of your office, go for a walk, and go tell your team how awesome they are. Not only are they going to feel good, but actually science says you're going to feel really damn good as well. Listen, at the end of the day, when we talk about this idea of stress, taking care of ourselves and well-being, it's really about taking care of our energy, making sure that we have the capacity and ability to do all the things in our day, not just the things at work, not just the things we have to do at home, not just things we have to do for an hour here and there, but our bodies were designed and have been crafted to have 16 hours of energy throughout the day to do all the awesome things we can do, even in some of the most stressful conditions. We just got to make sure we reset ourselves throughout the day. All right, everybody, thank you. It was a whirlwind. Hope you enjoyed it.